Thanks, grace of heaven, virtuous of masters, grand predecessors, transmitters, lecturers, and everyone here to give me this opportunity to learn to speak on today's topic, temple and me. It's not really about me personally. It's about every one of you. Okay.
You have the recording on, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately. Okay. So. Okay. So it's just basically an introduction. What is this temple? It's about, and how we are. How can we involve in this temple? Yeah. So it's nothing about my personal life. Okay. So as an introduction, we kind of give a brief, because I think Lecturer Kai has done the lineage of golden thread, right?
Yeah.
He done a really detailed job. So if you want to go into the detail, you go to his class, and then So this is the lineage about the Tao temple, the Tao, the God, the creator of everything in the cosmos, which means also Tao, right? Okay, and then in this white period, we have the 17 patriarch, which is a reincarnation of Maitreya Buddha. He is the first patriarch of this white period, and then his given name is Lu Zhongyi. He attained Tao on February 2nd, 1925, lunar month, at age of 76. And then God bestowed title, God gave him the title of Jingong Zushi, which is Jingong Patriarch, right? So, and then there is Jigong, living Buddha. He is 18 patriarch, which is also the second patriarch of this white period. So he is the incarnation of Jigong Buddha, Jigong living Buddha. And while he was 18 patriarch, his given name was Zhang Guanbi, right? He attained the Tao on the age of August 15, 1947, lunar month, at age of 59. And so when he returned back to heaven, heaven gave him the title of Tiannan Gufo, ancient Buddha of great nature, right? Right? Is that right?
Oh,
Ancient Buddha.
nature?
Oh.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, and then this is 18 matriarch. I think most of the time we often just address to 18 patriarch, but a lot of times her name is not mentioned. But she and 18 patriarch is who in charge of the post of Tao transmission, right? And she is the incarnation of Bodhisattva of moon and wisdom. She is she's the only matriarch, right, of the white periods, and given names Shen Hui Ming. She attained the Tao on she returned to heaven on February 23rd, 1975, at age 81, and heaven, after she returned, heaven gave her another title. It's called Divine Matriarch of China. Okay. So, and then there's this grand predecessor. His given name is, he has a lot of names. His given name is Han En Nong, and then there's he also called Yu Ling, right? And then he has a courtesy name Jie Qing. And in 1948, he led a group of Tao pioneers to Taiwan by order of the Divine Matriarch, the 18 Matriarch that we just showed. And then when I didn't have it down when he returned to heaven.
1995.
Oh, 1995. So when he returned back to heaven, he has a given name of heaven bestowed him the title with Emperor of White Water. they were saying that he is the 17 patriarchs, Finning. How do you say that? 18 patriarch. 18 济公老师
No.
济公老师 Finning.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
That's what they
I
said.
didn't know that. No, he was supposed to be some Buddha of some star or something, not saint or something. I don't know.
No,
Yeah, that's what, I don't know.
because that's what I heard over there.
No.
I
Okay.
think he's really. I thought I
Where?
heard-
In there?
where?
In the Chinese class?
What Chinese class people was told.
I
Oh.
thought it was.
Somebody did. I heard it
Confucius.
one time too.
Confucius. I thought he was like.
Are you sure it's Confucius?
Confucius.
I heard it one
水晶?
time that he is
水晶.
may also be the incarnation of teacher.
Finning,
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know
not
that.
the whole
No, I mean just.
Funding split.
Fin. Yeah.
Yeah, split.
Okay.
What's funding? Split what?
And then below him there is this patriarch. His name is Liu Chenxian, courtesy of the Hua. He attained it Tao on September 29, 1972, at age of 58. And when he God bestowed him the title of True Sage of Great Virtue, 大德真君, right? Yeah, I heard like he's a very virtuous person, and he gave up his family to propagate Tao in Taiwan, and he wasn't able to see his family. He never get to meet his family again, right? Yeah.
Actually, a lot of them. Pretty much all the predecessors and whatever.
Yeah, they left.
When
and
they left,
never
they
went
could
back.
never go back.
Wow.
Did all
They
of them
couldn't
come to
go
Taiwan?
Some of them like went to Hong Kong and then.
Like the 17th patriarch? Was he ever
No,
in
no,
Taiwan?
no.
No, he passed away before.
He was-
Right, because this
he
is
was
during
a
the 18th.
Sichuan,
Even the
right?
18th patriarch was only in China.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
His
what?
grandpredecessor.
It's only the
It's only the
matriarch
Made
told-
it to Hong Kong
made it to
first.
Hong
first.
Kong and then Taiwan.
When I was in Taiwan, I heard a story about him. Like while he started out in Taiwan, and he was really poor. And then there's this this guy, he brought it in or something. Hu Yuan Dashuai, right, at the time. So Hu Yuan Dashuai didn't have a place to stay, and he took him in, and everybody thought he was crazy because he couldn't even support himself. And then he took another one in, and they lived together for a couple of months, and because what he did to Hu Yuan Dashuai, and later when Hu Yuan Dashuai become rich, he always help out at with the Dada Zhenjing, and he still help out at this our Fa Yi Tong Yi, right, temple. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Hui and Dasai is another predecessor, but he's. Yeah, but I mean, kind of. Well, this true sage of great virtue, and he brought him in. And actually, he was an opium addict.
Who?
Hu Yuan Dashuai.
Yeah.
Really?
No, that's what used to be in the army.
He was like in the military. I
Military,
forget
that's
what
what I meant.
that-
Yeah, military.
But yeah.
Then he
but
retired.
But he was kind of like, using that, and so, but
He was opium addict,
he was
yeah.
able to get rid of the,
Is
Yeah.
it from the army?
I guess.
Probably from pain.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So he also is the owner of the
Yeah.
The sauce.
Well, he later.
the
yeah.
soybean sauce.
No, later.
That's
The
later
main-
on. Oh, Ming.
The
Later,
main.
yeah.
If you go
I
to the
heard like
supermarket,
he
it's
got a
the salsa.
dream that God told him to make that.
Who? Gato, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because they, to
They
support
need money,
the,
yeah.
the temple.
He
right,
started
so
business,
To
yeah.
start this business, you need the bean sauce, bean sauce.
And the holy teacher, blessed all his
Yeah.
sauce, okay?
Yes, so he could
So-
make it really fast,
yeah,
shorten the time.
Yeah,
to the
in a
market.
short time. So if you go and buy soybean sauce, you have to look for the brand. That's our sauce.
Yeah.
That's,
I heard that it's more organic, has a less preservative stuff in there or
And it's
something.
been blessed by the Buddha.
Okay. And then there is senior transmitter Trey. He passed away at age of 88 on January 8th, 2013. I get to meet him once. Yeah.
You only
How
met
many
him
once?
once?
Yeah.
No, many
I
years.
did.
No, he's
What
been.
a-
Well, then because I came to the temple later, I only get to see him
That's
once.
all?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then he has a bestowed title of true sage of joyful Tao, no Tao Zhen Jing. Yeah. So I don't really know him that well, but according to like Christine, she's really close to him, and heard that he's really really nice, and he did a lot of. I heard like he helped out Dr. Zhenjun's family a lot.
He goes and
Right.
visits
In China?
them in
Right,
China.
right there. So
Yeah.
that, you know, then those are like the grandchildren, great grandsons, you know, etc.
Yeah.
Are they all in the temple?
No.
Well, in China, it's kind of difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But they received the Tao.
yeah.
So okay, and then I didn't have more pictures below that, but in our temple, the lineage below him is senior transmitter Jing, is lecture Tai's dad, lecture Kaizen Tai's dad, and then there's other transmitters like transmitter Rome, transmitter Luo, transmitter Zhen, who's in California, Chino, right, and then transmitter
Right.
Ray 小经典传世 and transmitter Ning in Texas, Dallas right now. Okay, and then there's lectures, all these lectures here.
Then we also
and then us.
other transmitters before also.
I don't know
Well,
other
she doesn't know
transmitters.
about those, so you have to brief them.
There's just so
I never met those
We
transmitters,
used to
so
have many transmitters or different group of transmitters here that they, how do you say that? You said, well,
Wow.
they deviated from
Yeah, they
our
left.
temple.
I mean, yeah,
They
left.
propagate on their own.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was around the time of
what year was that?
Ty's mom, when she was a transmitter.
Well,
So they were also, in that group of transmitter around that time.
right.
So then we had transmitter Ho, another transmitter Lane, transmitter Yu, who is their uncle, your mother's brother, and a senior transmitter Yu, and
Of course, mother.
who else?
Jimada.
Yeah, and your mother, Jinghua Daxian, the immortal of purification.
So aside from Jinghua Daxian, is all other
Another
transmitter
one's
who's
taken
not
out.
in the temple, or they still alive?
They
Yeah,
are
yeah.
still alive, but they're propagating down. They
Yeah.
deviated from Happy Buddha Temple.
Okay.
Okay, so they're still propagating the Tao. They mainly where in California, North Carolina.
They're New
They-
York.
They also have
They
Staten
have-
Island.
yeah.
Are they
Yeah. Staten Island.
recognized by holy teacher?
Huh?
Or that they aren't?
Well, no, I mean, this kind of thing.
We don't know
Yeah,
except
it's-
heaven.
yeah.
Are they gonna
We
get a
can't say
bestowed title by heaven when they pass
We
away?
don't know.
We don't.
That's up to heaven. Okay,
Oh.
yeah, we don't know that.
Yeah, they're just following their own affinity. Now, whether it's for, I mean, we might say, oh, maybe they shouldn't have done certain things, like, they went against Senior Transmitter Choi because, he needed to bring some new transmitters, right? And then they were against that, so.
Well, they're against the idea.
Yeah, the idea, well, this whole thing about the mandate.
No, because
were
they believe that the
questioning
mandate is ended with
vice-
when
the
our
grand predecessor.
grand predecessor left.
Yeah,
It's hard to.
I didn't know the reason, so I never asked.
Well, that's one of the
That's one of
primary
the
reasons.
reasons.
But that's like human conflict.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah, I mean, it becomes, this is where we have to use our wisdom. I mean, there's no I don't think there's a fixed right and wrong answer
Yeah.
necessarily. I mean, the mandate, first we can't see it, so we don't know, right? But, no, at least we should say, we shouldn't be going against the senior transmitter at the time, right? I mean, it's his decision to make. I mean, we can be not happy about it, but, so they chose to leave instead of stay,
But that happened in Taiwan too. Tomiko.
Yeah. I mean, they lost a lot.
That was a bigger. That was a
transmitters, too.
bigger split. That's the. You can say
There's a way this is
schism.
split here?
Schism.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, just like
Oh,
the
it-
Christian church.
Yeah, because they
and
were kind of
Islam religion. There was a schism too,
So then
right?
where are they now, Taiwan? They
Right,
have
It was
no
a
temples in Taiwan?
period of
Yeah.
chaos.
They probably took some of
It's
our
just
the temples. that we
everybody had different ideas
because they were
or different
they
interpretations.
went to the
So,
temple and
so some people say, hey, you know, we
So
disagree,
it was
so
just a
they
New York school.
they went
No.
off on
It's
their own.
entirely a lot
New
of.
Zealand, you know, because
Everywhere.
at the time,
It's all over. Really.
So now we have a whole new group of
yeah.
transmitters.
So we
here.
kind of started off, you know, we kind of like cut in half, less than half.
Yeah, more.
That was
a
Maybe
sad,
More like
one-
3/4.
Yeah.
that was like a sad time in my
Yeah.
life. I was
Well,
like
it's a
friends with all
schism.
these
It's a
people,
schism.
and they all left.
But that's true
All
with
the young
every
people
Do you
religion.
still keep in touch with them?
Like only Lydia.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's okay.
上课吗？啊，等一下哈，下课你再成全他嘛。好，谢谢。啊，他不用历史文件。
Please have a seat and join us.
谢，OK。
还没出道啊，
知道。
谢谢两次。
Okay.
今天
And then
Yes, have a seat.
可是不要
Thank
强
you.
迫啦，让他听课之后，师傅讲师跟他说。
so below him, I mean, and after the lectures, and we have to know our introducers. All right, each one of us had to know who our introducers, who brought us in to receive the Tao, and then there is like guarantors who is guarantee this Tao is truth. You know, yeah. And then so the purpose of just the introduction. Okay, that we all children of God, and we all come from we come to the earth and have forgotten.
Oh, she made a
Yeah.
typing.
No,
Got
it's
lost?
gotten lost. No, that's
Yeah, had gotten
This is-
lost
yeah.
in samsara. Okay, so in the sixth path of reincarnation, do you guys know what the sixth path of reincarnation is?
Well, why don't you?
Review it.
Yeah, because
Temporary heaven, human asura, human realms, animal realms, hungry ghosts, and underworld, hell. So we probably be into all these realms before. We just doesn't know. Like Lecture Tai said that. Okay, that's why we collected all these habits from each realm, right? Okay. And then, so in this period, heaven has descended Tao in this white periods, the last salvation of the three realms, the temporary heavens, human realms, and underworld. That's the last salvation, three realms. And then heaven sent the enlightened master of Jigum Buddha and Bodhisattva of moon and wisdom to guide us back to our original home. So that's why we have these temple. Okay. And then coming to the temple, so what is the purpose of coming to the temple? It's basically receiving the Tao. It's basically to internally, to realize our true nature, true self, and self-reflect, cultivate to become what is that?
the meeting is close.
Cultivate to become a virtuous person and purify our heart and mind to calm ourselves down. That's internal cultivation. And then externally, we come here to help, to learn, to cultivate, practice, and propagate Tao. To understand, the true value of life is not about material stuff, not about fame, not about social status. What is really true meaning of life is to realize our true self and what is our purpose of being on earth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is Holy Teacher's 3 great vows is to guide all sentient beings back to our origin, the absolute heaven, and to get rid of our bad habits and improve the customs and transform one's heart, to revise Confucianism's teaching of morality, such as 孝悌忠信, no, filial piety, 8 virtues and 5 constants, right? Yeah. Let's not go into the detail. Okay. And then in the Tao temple, we going to the Taiwan and learn, and I realized that they have a lot of influence on the society, more than I thought. Okay, they really emphasize on Confucianism teaching. You know, they read a lot of sutras, right? 四书五经, 4 books on the teenagers, even like the kids, or like 弟子规, how do you say 弟子规? Students, rules.
What is that translation of 弟子规?
Rules for the disciples.
The disciples.
弟子 means disciples.
There are standards.
Yeah, standards, kind of
Standards,
standards, conduct.
to
Yeah.
become a good student and good child.
Yeah.
Good.
So we went to this Tingyan for you, and there's like a group of like 20 kids maybe, and they were having a camp there, learning like 弟子规 stuff every day, and they were helping out with lighting the incense, the lamps, and all that stuff. So and they're very, very courteous, you know. Yeah. So and then it's helped us. It's teaching us to how to purify one's heart and maybe influence the society to also purify themselves. Yeah, and then to cultivate oneself and bring others, bring orders to the family, such as, so if one person is cultivating, so if one person changes their temperaments in the family, it could make a huge difference, right? Guide others to become aware of their true self. So a lot of people who didn't receive the Tao didn't know they have their true self, true Buddha nature. They thought after they die and that was it. So, but there's much more to that, because a lot of people is very attached to forms, right? What they see, what can touch, what can smell. Then, but that life is not just that. There's much more beyond it, right? Perform good deeds and being kind to others, right? It's just let's go back. Okay, doing more good deeds is kind of to pay back our karma, to offset our karmas, and and be kind to others to create more good affinities with all the sentient beings, and it's to help us to in the path of cultivation, that we don't have too much of the obstacles while we cultivate. Okay. And then the function of the temple is our temple, this, you know, Iguan Dao's temple, right? There's many different types of temple out there, but we had to be careful like what temple that we're going to. So, you know, in this, our temple is to transmit Tao, right? Because none other temples have that ability. We have heaven's mandate, so we can transmit Tao, and to be aware, to teach us aware of what our true nature is, that heart-to-heart transmission, to worship gods and saints and Buddhas, to bowing. While we are bowing, we're actually also bowing to our true nature, our Buddha nature, and establish affinity with sentient beings. To train talented people, everybody here is a talented people, okay? Just, you know, to teach everybody this knowledge of Tao, and then so maybe they can help and propagate and spread the Tao to their families, their different states and different countries, and then to be protected by the radiance of Buddhas and shelter from calamities. In the temple of the Tingyan Foyer, right? I heard this story. They were saying that there's these two people, right? Husband and wife came to this temple, and then the husband, he's about in his mid-50s maybe, and then he came to the temple. He's like really angry, and then they didn't receive the blessing yet, and then like this lady at the temple asked them like where they come from and why they're here, and then the husband did not say anything, and then they just got like several bags of fruits, and then the wife explained to the lady, say that they'll come here to offer saints and Buddhas the fruits, and then later this lady at the temple find out that the husband has this job. He's like a cop, and what his job is like, whoever passed away, he has to go deal with them. He has to go like, make a phone calls and all that stuff. And then over time, he feel like there's a lot of things following him, like spiritual stuff. So, and then the husband and wife went to this like their local, what's it, temporary saint temple, or is it temple? You call it a temple?
Yeah, you can.
Their local temple. It's not really
弘扬庙
Hongyan Miao, yeah. Red period temple.
It's a Mahayana temple.
Yeah, and then there's this like I don't know who is they say that the saints and the temporary saints over there telling him to come to this Tingyuan Foyuan to buy the fruits and then to offer to the, what is it? The Buddhas over there. There's four, what is it? The four of the Buddhas there that is guardians.
The guardian of law.
Yeah,
Four
is it?
guardians of law.
Like
Like 关老爷。
关老爷、女主师，还有2个是谁？
张飞。Who's the other one? 张。
女主师
Yeah. No, we already said that. 2个张。
张飞 and 张。
Who's the other 张？
张飞 and
He's forgetting.
法律组是吧？
yeah, yeah.
法律组是。
法律组。
四位，
四位
还有一个姓张的是什么？
So anyway, they were saying that after he bowed, and then these guardian of laws will block those bad spirits away from him. Yeah, and then later I think the husband and wife came back and thanks the temple again. Yeah, and they say that I think the red period people told them to bow sincerely, and then all the saints or Buddhas will help them too. So, yeah.
So did they receive the Tao yet or not?
I didn't ask that. Yeah, that's the only part that I heard. Yeah. And then to get familiar with Tao coming to the temple is to get more familiar with the Tao rules and regulations. So in these rules and regulations are the same in heavens. So we really have to practice them and know them well. So after we return to heaven, we don't really have to study them again. Yeah. And then temple has many classes. So as a person who, after they receive the blessings, it's best for them to attend the Dharma class. It's 2 days class, and it's basically just cranking all the basic knowledge of Tao into 2 days, so people doesn't get misunderstood between Tao temple and the Red Period temple, right? And what is this Tao is about. And then there is a new members class, arriving virtue class, nourishing virtue class, practicing virtue class, and flourishing virtue class. The purpose of these classes is to give us better understanding of Tao and why we have to cultivate and how should we cultivate, or how do we cultivate internally and externally. And the class materials all include like the true meaning of life, the value of life, explanation of Tao principles, Saints and Buddha's scriptures, and how to maintain healthy heart and mind and body. Because having a healthy heart and mind is very important. And having a healthy body is become a vegetarian, right? Okay, and then there is different departments in the temple. There is Little Angels Temple where they recite sutras, but the teachers are like preparing for the class for them, like Karen. Okay. Do you want to explain what the Little Angels department do? What do you guys do?
It's split into 2 parts. The first part is sutra. So the Buddha scriptures, the children, they just read it and try to memorize it. And our hope is that when they grow older, they'll have these words and Buddha phrases in their mind. And so when they begin to understand them, they can apply them to their life. It's just like putting I guess like nurturing Buddha wisdom in them. And then the second part of what we do is teaching basic I guess like values, morals, ethics to the children. So teaching things like respect, eating less meat, some Buddha stories, like kindness, filial piety is a big one. Yeah, basically that's it.
Okay. And then there is a 文书组 office documentations department. Is group of people in there who's in charge of entering documents, doing some accounting works, and like when the Buddha scripture, when the Buddha channel in, and then you do those, they had to type those scriptures out and then check and recheck if the scriptures are there's no mistakes on it. And then there is like a altar affair department that is everyone, the group of people who's in charge of the altar, making sure that altar is kept clean, the incense or the lamp oils are filled up, and then there's enough incense. And then when they are doing the offering, they make sure that fruits are in the plates, ready to get served. And then the waters or the teas for the Saint Buddhas are ready to be served. Yeah.
两个都是张飞啊？
然后一个张飞，一个岳飞，吕洞宾。
哦，是两个飞，不是两个。
and then one now.
岳飞 and then 张飞。You got it?
Yeah.
一个岳飞，一个
Take
张
it down.
飞。
Write it down.
I better write
Yeah.
it down.
Okay, and then there's hosting department. Let's say hosting department is like every time we a speaker or lecturer do a class, and they will bring you water and towels, and whenever transmitter finishing lighting the incense, they will give them the towels, or doing the Tao ceremony, they will give them the towels. And also when there is new guests coming, and they will do their best to serve them. And also in the morning when you come to the temple, we give you like hand sanitizers too. Yeah. And then there is motivational coaching department, 辅导组. So for the motivation, it's basically I see that whenever there's a Dharma class, there is like a motivational coaching department. People sitting at the end of every row, making sure that they are not lost, or be there if they need to ask a question. Am I right?
Yeah. Or falling asleep, like
Yeah. Make sure they're awake, because if they fall asleep, what happened?
Demerits.
No, their ancestors were also not able to
right, to listen.
to hear the class, right? They also, I think the motivational, I don't know if I'm right, they also pay like a brief visit to Tao members that they hasn't been to the temple for a while, and sometimes they will bring like fruits and to visit them, and then so they will bring them some blessings, right? What? 成全主啊? Oh.
Wow, that's probably
It's the same thing,
Same
right?
Yeah.
It's the same people.
Well,
And then there's 活动组. 活动组 is, I don't know if there's like Johnny's doing the exercise, or I think once a year, if we are lucky, if we behave, we're gonna have this outing, picnic outing, and then there's a group of people planning it, and then if we behave well. Okay, and then there's this 总务组. Anybody who want to cook in the kitchen, that is the kitchen affair department. So basically now how they do it is like you get 4 people together, and then you're responsible to buy all the materials and then prepare them. You can come a day early to prepare them, or in the morning. Some people do it in the morning if you're fast. And yeah, so you can come to cook. You can come to cook on Sunday for the lunch, or Wednesday in the dinner time. Yeah.
Besides cooking, you're also responsible to clean up
Yeah.
the cooking.
Please, after you cook, clean up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a mess in there.
Because the people love to cook, but nobody wants to clean. So
Yeah.
the cleaning
And we're gonna get
is
mad. No, I'm
inclusive.
just kidding. Yeah. So cooking include cleaning too. Okay. So the features of Tao Temple is to create a happy and beautiful life, to have our body, our heart and mind and soul to be happy. to be, yeah. It's saying what is the true meaning of happiness? They're saying that is to have faith in God, to trust. To have faith in God is to trust your Buddha nature, right? To believe in your Buddha nature, and the balance between our soul and the material goods. We shouldn't buy over what we need. I see friends and families that sometimes they buy and buy and buy, and then their whole house is filled of material stuff that you can't even walk in.
That's good. That's called hoarding.
Yeah, it just I guess over time, you realize that all these stuff just the material stuff, and then you learn to to give up some of these little by little. All right. Not that I give up all of them. Okay. Okay. And then you have a healthy body and mind, which don't think anything that's evil, right? Don't hold any grudges of anybody, and become a vegetarian. For me personally, becoming a vegetarian is best things for me, because I feel like my chi, my energy can flow better, right? And then have a broad, magnanimous heart. Be kind to others, and I don't know if you guys do that, but occasionally I do the letting go of all thoughts and letting go of all affinity. Don't let one thought arise, and that is kind of what calm your heart and mind. You become more peaceful, and then so we also have to learn how to care for others and give time. Three charities, right? Give your time, give material goods, and give the Dharma teaching to others, so they can also attain this beautiful, happy life. Yeah. And basically, our Tao Temple our goal is to spread the teaching of Tao, so to every corner of the world, and then thus create harmonious world. Ferry all sentient beings and return to our original home in heaven. So what I used to say, I forgot what I want to say. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got it. This Tao, our temple Tao, it's spread to everywhere in the world right now. It's in Japan, in Malaysia, in Cambodia, in Macau. Macau is part of China, but they can set up the temple over there. In what else?
It's all over the world.
Yeah, it's all over the world right now, and there's many of the temples.
Where? South Africa?
I think, maybe
Madagascar, South Africa,
Several places.
I have to go.
Madagascar, South Africa.
You're gonna say hello to the animals.
Oh, I would love to do that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's basically that we're trying to spread this teaching so that the world will become more harmonious, and then so like this, what was it, 道智宗旨, right? The war of great harmonious. 道智宗旨.
No, this is
礼运道同篇. Okay. It says that when the perfect world prevails, the world is like a home shared by all. Virtuous and worthy men are elected to public office. Capable men hold posts of gainful employment in society. Peace and trust among all men are the maxims of living. All men love and respect their parents and children as well as the parents and children of others. The elders are cared for. Adults have employment. The young are well nourished and educated. the widowers and
Widowers.
oh,
Not widowers.
okay.
Widowers.
Sorry. Handicapped and those who find themselves alone are all cared for. Every man and woman has an appropriate duty to perform within families and society. A sense of sharing displays the effects of selfishness and materialism. A devotion to public duties leaves no room for idleness, intrigues, and conniving for ill-gotten gains or unknowns. Villains are such as thieves and robbers do not exist. The door to every home needs never be locked by days or nights. These are the characteristics of ideal world, the Commonwealth states. The end.
Huh?
But when that happens, the world will only probably have 3% of the world population. When that happens.
This is so far from reality.
Yeah.
No, it'll happen.
And, like, all
but then
levels.
the problem
There
is
won't be that many
there'll only
people
be like
around.
maybe 3% people.
Why
It's
are you
sad.
saying-
It's sad.
But
Why are you saying
when I was in
that's
China, we never locked our door.
Cleanse?
Cleanse. Yeah.
Before I came, when I was a child,
Unfortunately,
we have
that's the way.
my grandfather built like this square, like a rectangle house, and then each side has a door, and we never lock our
Never
door,
lock the door?
and just go in and out. And everybody from our neighbor just come in and leave, and then we never had to like hide anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah,
wonderful?
It's a different world, you know. It's a
Now we put 3 bolt locks in
Yeah.
each door,
It's just-
and you go home and you find you forgot to
It's
do
sad,
one, and you
you know,
panic.
sad.
And our world leaders are all
Because our
mostly
world's corrupt.
terrible.
So this is the end of my presentation. If I have said anything wrong or I may have mislead any of you guys, I ask Saints and Buddhas for forgiveness.